guys, Liza here with Makeup Mayhem, and I am ready to swatch round number 2 of my China Glaze polishes. So last week we did the more warm tones, and this week is all cool tones. There were definitely some cool tones mixed in with last week's, just because I tend to lean towards cool tones in general. But today we've got blues and greens and purples and all sorts of fun stuff, so let's go ahead and get started. The first polish I have for you is called In the Limelight, and that is a neon color. So this is a bright lime green, and it is going to have that typical neon formula where it is going to be more sheer. But again, I do have a pure white base that I usually put my neons over. So I will show you what that looks like in the second coat to get a better idea of how this would look on the nail. So there is that first coat of In the Limelight. So let's see how this builds up with a second coat. This one's actually gotten a little low over the years. It's a little harder to pick up on my brush. So this one's definitely showing more opaque than that Japanese koi color did in the last video, last week. So, and then if I put that over a neon base coat, that really just builds up the opacity. So this one I definitely probably could keep in my collection. So that was In the Limelight. Up next, this one is called Graffiti Glitter. And this is a emerald green glitter mixed in with some black glitters in a clear base. I do have another one from the same collection a little later on today, so you can see how those look, a blue version of this one. So this has all sorts of different shapes and sizes of glitter. So you've got several different sizes of green glitters. You've got micro glitters and regular glitters in there, as well as black hex glitters and bar glitters in there. So you're getting a lot of different shapes and sizes of glitter in there, which leaves a really cool effect. That builds up all your different kinds of glitter. Next, this one is called Glittering Garland. I believe this was from a Christmas collection. So it's another one of those emeraldy green colors. I'm always on the search for the perfect emerald green and sapphire blue and ruby red nail polishes. Jewel tones make my heart flutter. So this is that first coat of Glittering Garland. And this is again a deep emerald green with a lighter green shimmer in it. This one's really similar to, I believe, Pine Away from Sinful Colors. And I want to say I had another color similar to this that I swatched recently, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. When I find a color combination that I really enjoy, I'm guilty for picking up more than one of them. So there is Glittering Garland. Next, this one is called Smoke and Ashes. And this is a really cool kind of complex color. It's kind of like, I'm gonna have to start swatching this one before I start describing it. So I wanna say that it's in sort of kind of like a blue-black base. Yeah, So it's a really dark, almost black base with green glitter inside of it there. Tiny, tiny little like micro glitters or shimmers. So this one's called Smoke and Ashes. This one was so opaque in the first coat, you could probably get away with one careful coat of it, but I'm gonna go in for the second coat. And this one's just stunning, that deep, deep indigo black base with all of that green and blue shimmer in it. There we go. Up next, this one is called Rare and Radiant. And I would describe this as like a June bug color. So it's definitely got a duochrome happening on there. So you get gold to green to blue shift in this one. And I have a couple colors like this that are kind of, they just remind me of like beetle shells. So I'm mostly seeing gold when I swatch this, but once you build it up and then once you're kind of shifting the nail to different sides, you're gonna see more of the green or blue. The shift is definitely stronger in the bottle, but we'll come back with the second coat and see how that looks. Now let's build up this June bug kind of color here and see how that reacts. So there is that second coat. This one is fairly sheer. I probably would go in with 3 coats. And to be careful of brush strokes with that metallic finish. I'm really not getting that much of a shift on the nail swatch, which is a little disappointing. This one is called Turned Up Turquoise, and this is again from that same neon collection. This was one of my older polishes. So this is a turquoise with a shimmer running throughout it. And it is again from that neon collection. It's not quite as bright as the other 2 that I've swatched so far, but it is still really vibrant. Keep getting hairs in my swatches. I apologize about that, guys. That's part of living with dogs, though. There's hair on everything I own. So that is Turned Up Turquoise. That definitely helped build up the opacity on that one. You put that over a neon base. So there is Turned Up Turquoise. Now we have Frostbite, which is a super bright royal blue with a kind of metallic finish. Again, this one is really old. I got this, I believe, at the same time that I got that neon collection, but I don't think it was part of the neon collection. I do believe this was separate. So this is again going to be similar to that rocker blue, and then I think rocker blue from Claire's and wired from LA Colors, and that it's that royal blue with a metallic finish. Let's see how the second coat of Frostbite reacts, because the first coat was pretty sheer. Although I found that to be true on all of the metallic blue colors that I've talked about so far. It may just be difficult to master the formula for this kind of color. It did get a lot better in that second coat though. Next, this one is called Mosaic Madness. If I can get that to focus. There we go. Mosaic Madness, and that's from the same Graffiti collection as that green one that I showed you guys earlier. So this is going to be blue and black glitters instead of green and black. And again, you're going to get a big multitude of different shapes and sizes in these glitters. So I haven't got any of those big hex glitters that I got in the green one, but I might pick some up in the second coat. So you're gonna see in this swatch I've got, let's see, tiny micro glitters in both black and it looks like blue, and then bigger hex glitters in black and blue, and then bar glitters in the black. Now back in with that blue and black glitter. That really builds up the coverage on this one. I would definitely use these as top coats. I wouldn't use them on their own because then you can't see all the individual glitters, I don't think. The next one is called Dorothy Who. And this is a blue glitter with some silver glitter in there as well. I believe the base on this one is also blue. This was another purchase in my quest for my never-ending quest for a beautiful sapphire sparkly blue color. And this one does a really good job of that. So it does have that blue base. And then blue and silver glitters throughout it. So that one is Dorothy Who. This one is probably a 3-coater because this still seems not quite opaque. But of course, if you did on your toes, if you didn't have to worry about visible nail lines, you could probably get away with 2 coats. So there is Dorothy Who. And last today we have this color called Plur Pol. So this, again, is really similar to the color of my walls. It is slightly more red toned, similar to, here's this one. The LA Colors Nuclear is pretty similar to this, although I do believe it's slightly darker. But it's gonna be a nice cream base. This one's almost like a jelly base, actually. It may just be because it's more sheer. We'll see how that builds up with the second coat. So that one was Plur Pol. Now let's go back in with that Plur-ple and see if we can build up the coverage on this one. This one still is somewhat sheer. I don't know if it's meant to be a jelly base. I don't think it is. I think it's meant to just be a cream. But if you're really careful, you could probably get that opaque in 2 coats. Alrighty, and as you guys are used to, we'll take one last final shot at all the nail polishes that we swatched today. These are all China Glaze nail polishes in the cool tone kind of range or spectrum in my collection. So you guys have now seen all of my China Glaze polishes. So let's, I'm not sure what we're gonna do for the next one. I may go in with OPI for the next swatch session. We'll see though. Check it out next week and I'll see you guys then. Bye.